Besides numbers, you're going to be entering a lot of string data into your programs, so you need to learn how to use the cin command with strings. Let's look at a first example. Create a string variable, name. We'll get a string value from the keyboard and store it in name. Then we'll write out the name to the console. Build and run the program. Type in your name. And you see that it repeats it right back. That's exactly what you'd expect cin to do with the string. Now watch this example. I enter my full name, but all it brought back was my first name. What happened? Well, what happened is that the space between my first name and my last name was a delimiter, just like it worked with numbers in the previous video. So if I want to be able to enter my full name or my first name and my last name, I'm going to have to modify the program. So let's create some new variables. Get their values using cin and the getFrom operator. And then write them out. Let's put a space between first name and last name so it's easier to read. And put a new line at the end. Now build and run this program. And there we go. Now you might be thinking, what if I want to put a full name into one variable and keep the space? How do I do that? Well, there's a special function for that, and let's look at it now. Let me comment out this code, and we'll start a new example. This time we're going to create a string variable called full name. Let's put a prompt in this time, make our program a little more user-friendly. Repeat it back out to the person. And yes, I realize this is not going to work. This is exactly the same problem we had before. It's only going to capture my first name when I run the program. To solve that, we need to change how we get the name into our program. C++ has a special function to make this easier called getLine. The getLine function takes two arguments: cin as the means of input for our program and the variable that we're going to store the value in. And what this is saying is saying get the whole line up until the user hits enter from standard input, the console, and store it in full name. So let's build and run this program. Enter my name again, and it comes out exactly like I thought. So when you want to store a string with spaces in a single variable name, use the getLine function to do that. Otherwise, if you're just trying to store a single word in a string, you can use cin in the standard way. In my next video, we'll look at an exercise that combines what we've learned about cout and cin.